Hi, so this is a quickie. So I just want to say really quick, like I talk about, we're all divine sparks. You're a divine spark, I'm a divine spark. We're all playing together in the universe. And that you're a single point of consciousness. And then by focusing on your single point of consciousness and bringing all your energy to yourself, bringing it in, and then it helps you manifest what you want to see in your life. So if we don't want to manifest, we could just stay in spirit. We don't have to come into a physical life to manifest. So why would you manifest? Why would you take the time and the energy spent in manifesting something you didn't like? You really wouldn't, right? You wouldn't. What would be the point of me manifesting, a minivan? Like, no, it's a lot. I only have a certain amount of. Of course, the resources are abundant, but I'm not going to use my resources to create something that I don't like and wouldn't want to drive. So, people keep assigning good and bad to things and then acting like it's a fact when it's not a fact. Like, some people would love to have a new minivan. They would love to have a brand spanking new miniature van. My friend Bruce and I say van in miniature. And I wouldn't. That's not my idea of awesome. So, my idea of awesome is an Airstream. Not everybody would want an Airstream. That's hard for me to believe that who wouldn't want an Airstream. Okay, but I want to just address that. Okay, so I was an airline pilot for a while, and then I was furloughed on 3303, and then I got pregnant, and then I had my son. I was called back, and then I had to go back after my son was born. They called me back the last time, like, if you don't come back now, I lose my seniority number, and I don't, I'd have to start from the bottom again. And when my son was born, and I was staring at this baby, and then United called me back, I was like, no. It wasn't hard to say no, because I had this brand new baby, and all I wanted to do is stare at him. And so I didn't have postpartum, but postpartum is a real thing. And if you have postpartum, look me up. I can help you because it can be healed. Anyway, that being said, my baby was so important. It was the most important thing. And then I poured all my energy into my son. My house was never clean. The dishes were done, and then it was just about me and my son. That's it. And I liked, because he had my personality. So imagine me, someone who I've always felt like nobody understands me, nobody gets me. When I would speak, about what I felt, people go, What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So now I have this brand new human being that I can, be with, like pour my energy into. And then it pays off by having this human being that laughs with me and gets what I'm saying, like understands everything. So it's not just like, I'm a mom and I had a baby and I love it. No, I'm a mom. I'm playing a role of a mother to this other soul, this human being. But I was 37. Like, I never really felt like anybody understood me. And then my son is like, he's laughing at everything I say, and he's like right there with me. He gets mad at me, whatever, but he gets me. And so being a mother of a son is one thing, but then being a human being that's never really felt like anyone's ever really totally understood what you said, and now I have this other human being that I love with all my heart because I poured all this energy into this person, and that I, helped create, co-created with the universe, this other life, and like, he's only 10 now, but he gets me, and I get him, and like, that is a whole separate thing than being a mother and son. Okay. When he was still pretty little, and I would look at him and I dress him up, like, you get to dress this little man in the clothes you want to see. So I made him tie-dyes, and I'd have him in these like tie-dyes with these flannel shirts open on top with these like cargo pants and these little tiny hiking boots. Oh, like this tiny little man. So I'm pouring all this into him. And to me, he's perfect, because I never got to dress another human being. Like, you have to wear this and you have to wear this. My husband is really good about this now. He lets me dress him, but it's not the same as when you take this little tiny man and you're like, this is what I want to see. Like, I want to see this. And they can't do anything about it because they're so tiny, and you can just dress them however you want. And then just staring at him. And my best friend at the time got annoyed because she says, you think your kid is the best. You think he's just like the best. Like, it bothered her that, like, I thought my kid was the best. I didn't just think he was the best kid. I thought he was the best thing on the entire planet. And I thought he was the cutest. And I thought he was just the best. And I could feel, I'm empathic, so I can feel how people feel. And I could feel that she was angry that I thought my kid was the best. Like, way better than all the other kids. And I was like, yep, I do. I think he's the best. And she looked at me like I shouldn't feel like my kid is the best. And I said, yeah, I do. And I can't help that I think my kid's the best. I just can't help it. But it's the only kid, it's the only person I ever put this much energy into. It's the only person that I ever was completely, totally responsible for. So yeah, I think he's the best. And I realized, like, imagine if and I told her this, imagine if every mother looked at their children like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to the world. This kid, this child that I co-created is the best freaking thing that has ever happened to the world. I can't take my eyes off of this human being. Like, it's perfect. Its face, its fingers, its toes. Look at the freaking toenails. Look at the pinky toenails on this thing. This is like the coolest, most amazing. I said, imagine if, because every baby that's born has a mother, and of course, there's examples that you can fight with me, and, we don't need to be friends, but, love you anyway, just, it's not a behavior that I want to engage with. So imagine if every single human being, if their mothers, like, look at that baby. So that means that every human being ever born gets the benefit of its own mother that co-created with the universe, just looking at that human being as if this is the most perfect creation that's ever come into the world. Like, this little human is the best thing that this world has ever known. Imagine that. Imagine if every child born, let's just imagine that. Imagine if every single child born on the planet gets the benefit of the love of a mom, of its co-creator with the universe, God, that child gets that benefit of, holy crap, this thing that I just co-created with God, the universe, the highest and holiest source of all there is, and I just made this most incredible gift to the entire planet, the best thing that's ever lived. So just imagine if every child gets that as the beginning of their life. So my best friend, at the time, making this is so bad. It's so bad that you think your kid is the best. As if that means that I think every other kid is the worst, which wasn't the case. I think they're great. I play with kids. I love kids. I teach them cool stuff, and they take it in from me, and they love me. I love them. I mean, I can't even, it's like, that's like a whole video series in itself, how much I love working with children and how much they love working with me. And it's not bad that I say that they love working with me, because they do. And it's just fun for all of us, and we have a great time. And I know that they love me, and I know that I love them, because my vibration just goes through the roof. And it's like I almost cry a lot when I see their little faces, and when they give me back what I've taught them. And they're like, it works. I did what you said. It works. And they're so happy to tell me these stories. And their stories like don't have any attachment to good or bad. And they tell me like what their moms say and stuff. It's like when my son was in kindergarten, and he told the teacher that I was pregnant, and then the baby died, and but the way he did it was like the teacher was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yes." Like it's not like, "Oh, we don't talk about this, we don't talk about that." Okay, back to the point. Sorry. So, mothers thinking that their child is like the best freaking thing that the planet's ever known is, maybe when you're hearing me talk about it, it sounds like a good thing. And then when my best friend was watching me, she thought she judged it as a bad thing. It's bad that you think your kid is so awesome, because she was saying so we attribute we assign whether something's good or bad, and then we hurt ourselves with that assumption. So if you're hearing it's good, then it's probably making you happy. And if you were her, like, that's terrible. She shouldn't think that her kid is the best, because that means that she thinks all other kids are the worst. And well, that's just not true. That's in her mind. She's creating that connection. So in your mind, you create connections. So when you say something's good, I can feel good about this. And when you think something's bad, now you have to fight against it and resist and cause yourself pain. Okay. So this is all coming about because I was like, the Masaru Emoto, the water, the guy with the experiments of water, the hidden messages of water. When one of his pages, one of his water experiments was on patriotism. And and I flipped through the book and I found patriotism in it, and it makes a beautiful crystal. So for now, let's just assign, because this is pretty realistic, that the water crystals that make perfect hexagons and they have an inside are good, like love, gratitude, thanks, and all those are like fully formed. They have centers, that are whitish, and then they have 6. They're like snowflakes looking. Okay, and then the things that are bad, like evil, hate, and all that stuff, those, they don't have the 6. They're not 6-sided, and they don't have a center off. And the more awful they are, the more black the center is. So there's nothing in the center, and there's no 6 sides. Okay, so water is going to be so if water is, let's call it a neutral party, like the judge you would want, like the judge of a trial. So this word gives you 6 sides and a white center, and this word gives you no 6 sides, no shape, no dimension, and a black center. All right, so let's just assign good with 6 sides and a white center, and bad to the black centers and no form. Then patriotism, okay, would be good. That's water being the judge, judging patriotism as a good thing. Now, patriotism is just thinking that your country's the best. My country's the best. Or I love my country. And, there was a movement about, so people who didn't get the president that they wanted November 2016 in that election, people who didn't get their way, they started hating this country. So a lot of them, on Twitter. And so like a lot of them are like F this country, and I'm going to move. I don't know if any of them, well, George Clooney did try moving, but he moved back. But anyway, But he did put his money where his mouth was, so he did move. But then he didn't feel safe with his twins and his wife, so he came back. Fine. At least he put his money where his mouth was. But he ended up moving back. My point is, if you don't think that's your country, or the country that you're in, because I lived in Europe for 6 months or so, 5 months, 6 months, whatever. So I lived in Holland, but I traveled all over. I went all over. And this was 1991. It's a lot different now than it is. That's not a judgment, so don't, if you're reading a judgment in, that's all you. I didn't say anything. And I'm only saying because I haven't been there. Really. I mean, I went there as a pilot, but that's just the airport but I used to travel around. I used to backpack all over Germany, Austria. I went all over France, and so I did that in 1991. And I'm just saying, I haven't been there, so I can't say if it's great anymore or not great anymore or the same or different. So that's all. But it'd be interesting if you think about, what did it bring something up? Did you think that I was saying something? And if you did, that's you. That's your ego mind filling in stories. And so the point is, if you think that you live in the best country, you don't have to be from that country. But like there are, I'm friends with some people that are legal immigrants from other countries that live here now. And they think this is the best country. Okay, so those people are experiencing patriotism because where they live now, they think is the best. It's the best country. If you don't feel that you're in the best country, then you should move. And I know like a lot of the people in November who hated this country, whatever, that's just a tantrum, so it's a temporary condition. So I'm not saying that they all should have moved because, they're just throwing a tantrum, in a video that people will be able to see for the rest of our lives or for the rest of the time of the internet. And so it's always going to be out there. And this is all part of growth. Like even throwing a tantrum is part of growing up. It's been interesting seeing these. I just saw a couple videos yesterday about these girls who are older now. They started a channel. They're two separate, but they started a channel when they were younger, and then they've grown. Okay, and then one girl she's changed her mind on some things, and then she showed she was talking about how she used to be, and I'm talking she's like young, so in a matter of 3 years or however many years it's been, she's really grown. Even 2 years, she's grown so much, and I love her. And I don't love people. I mean, I love her, and of course I love her like I love everybody, but I love her behavior. And it's not that I agree with everything she says. That doesn't mean that. It's like, I love that she was willing to speak now about how she was 2 or 3, I don't remember how many years ago, but it was a relatively short period of time. But she was a lot younger. She looks so much different. She went through so many stages, and they're chronicled. Like she's got them in her videos, and then she says now she feels this way, which is different. So she has this following from when she was feeling different, and now she's moving through this process, and she's chronicling it all for everybody to see. And she was referring back to how she used to think and behave or whatever, and then she put those pieces from old videos in her video that I was watching, which was, I loved it, because it's like, she's like, this is who I was, and she's like, this is how I moved, whatever. It's just awesome. Okay, so so you should think your children are the best. You should think that the country that you're living in is the best, because that's where you are as your divine spark. Your single point of consciousness is choosing to place your spacesuit, your physical body, just your spacesuit. All right? So let's say, oh my God, my friend Kim's doing this thing. There are these people, I haven't done it, but there are these people who can read you and tell you where in the world your best place to be would be. I just think that's so neat. So imagine if your divine spark, your single point of consciousness is so joyful about where your spacesuit lives, so where your physical existence has been created, so where your house is or where you live, or there's minimalists, there's guys that, there's people that have like a backpack and everything they own is in that backpack and they just move and move and move and move and move and they're so joyful. So you don't have to have a country, but your water in your body, so the water would still reflect that patriotism, six-sided, white-centered, beautiful hexagon, because you're joyful about the movement, and where you live is out of your backpack, and there's that freedom and stuff. So you'd still have the patriotism vibe. So anyway, that's all I really want to say is you raise your vibration when you're super, super joyful about where you live, where your country is, who your children are. And if you don't like where you live, if you're not happy where you live, or if you hate your country, or you hate the country you're living in, okay, that's just your spirit talking to you through your heart saying, we would be more joyful somewhere else. And you should find wherever that somewhere else is. You don't have to say that you hate the United States of America or you hate whatever country that you live in. And then say everywhere else is better. Well, then go find where you're happy, because stop talking about what you hate. If you want to be happy, if you don't want to be happy, then go right ahead. Keep on talking about what you hate, because you're going to create more of that. And even if you say hate has no home here, you're going to create more of hate, because that's just how the law of attraction works. It's just going to bring more to you, that which you talk about, think about, speak about, write about, post about, all that. It's very simple. It's a very, very simple rule. What are you talking about, thinking about? Then you're going to bring more. So you're going to bring about. What are you grateful about? What do you pray about? Then you're going to bring more of that. So if you're like, I love where I live, you're going to bring more love. If there's another place better suited for you, then you should go be there, because then you're going to raise your vibration. And if you raise your vibration, you're going to raise the collective vibration. Joy, 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 joy out the ass. Let's all work towards joy out the ass. Like, so freaking happy with where we live, and then bring that down. So it's like macro and micro. So macro, I'm happy to live on planet Earth. I'm happy to live, in this country. I'm happy to live in this town, in this state, okay, which can be hard, at certain points. But when you are throwing a tantrum, and I even throw tantrums about my state because of people are flooding out of here. People are flooding out of here. So I need to watch, where am I throwing a tantrum? Where is my tantrum? Okay, change that story and bring it to a place of joy. So I love where I live, but I love my house, and then I love my this room. Like, I love my kitchen. I love my living room. I love my bedroom. I love my porch. I love my garden. Okay, so, and then keep taking it in. And then I love my spacesuit. So the more you can love, love, love. When people hate, whether it's their country or it's their spacesuit, like the white man's guilt, right? White male guilt, it doesn't serve us. Guilt is the second lowest measured vibration. Shame is 20 and guilt is like 30. Come on. If you're a white male, love it. If I'm a white female, love it. If you're a black woman, love it. Just love it. And loving your spacesuit, going like, this is the best thing to be. This is the best country to live in. This is the best whatever. These are the best kids. This is the best house. This is the best country. This is the best, the best, the best. If you don't feel like that about something, change it. because you're lowering your vibration and then you're affecting everybody else negatively with a lower vibration. You're lowering the collective vibration. So it's okay to love all the places that your divine spark lives. Planet Earth, this country, this state, this town, this house, this spacesuit, you know, this moment in time. I love my divine spark. So imagine how high the vibration would be of all of us, every single human being on the planet. Imagine how high the vibration would be if all of the divine sparks, the singular points of consciousness, single point of consciousness, didn't just love, because that's what you are. So you're, you know, the divine spark, that single point of consciousness, right? That divine spark is pure love. It's like this awesome little pure love thing. Imagine if that divine spark, which is pure love, loves the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual planes of existence of that divine spark. So this time I came in. I love all the cells in my body. I love my body. I love everything about my body. I love my gender, you know, so gender, color, da 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 da. I love this, I love this, I love this. And you just go out from there. Then you love all the way out to outer space, loving, and then loving back in. So it's just pure love going in both directions. Now, what changes that? Well, a belief can throw this whole cool potential existence out of whack. So a belief, any belief, one freaking belief can change your reality from that pure love divine spark moving outward, okay, in all directions, love, like 1,000 level vibration. One belief can F up that whole thing. It doesn't matter what the belief is. It could be a religious belief, a political belief, a victim mentality belief. Any belief can throw that whole love thing out of whack. Now, the problem is people assign this is good and this is bad. Okay, if all the divine sparks thought that way, like, yes, it's a fact that this is good and it's a fact that this is bad, this would not work. It wouldn't work if we all wanted to be me. If every divine spark in the universe was like, well, the best thing to be would be, you know, white, 47-year-old female living in the United States, you know, in Connecticut, and with the mother of 2 kids, ex-airline pilot, mother's dead, that would be the best thing to be. Well, the whole world would be judging my life as the best, and then their lives would suck. Just like how my friend thought it was terrible that I thought my kid was the best. She said, well, that's bad that you think your kid's the best, because she attributed that must mean you think every other kid sucks. That's not true. So I have my existence, but I need to make my existence feel the most perfect to my divine spark. What does my divine spark want? Well, it picked the spacesuit, okay? It picked the birthday. So the ego mind, Carla, I don't have any control over my spacesuit, that I'm a white female. It doesn't have any control over my birth date, because my spirit picked all that. Okay, so let's just start there. My spirit chose all these things to come in and create this physical life. It's a game. And now, all I have control over, you know, as me, Carla, right? This person talking incessantly, making videos that, you know, 29 subscribers may or may not get. I have control only over what beliefs am I going to continue to hold. What beliefs am I going to continue to hold? And by looking at my life and constantly like looking, so watching, and I talk about meditation. It's just watching. So through meditation, we watch. Oh, my shoulders are up. I'm going to breathe them down, right? I don't want this. I don't want this when I'm meditating. So, right? I breathe in. I release what doesn't serve me. I don't need to know. I just set the intention to release what doesn't serve me, and then I breathe it out. I trust that it's gonna exhale. So down to, if I judge something as good or bad, now that's a belief. That is not a fact. I see a lot of people who expect me to be like them and to know that this or that is offensive, or this or that is hurtful, or this or that is good, this or that is bad. Now, the reason no one gets me, and never has, is because I don't think of so many things as good or bad. You know? I don't have, they say, oh, you don't have a filter. You don't have a filter. Is it that I don't have a filter, or is it that you have too many filters? You know? Who's happier? And it's fine if you want to have a lot of filters, tons of filters, and this is the right way, and you're doing it the wrong way, and I know the right way. Okay, so you have all these filters. Congratulations, you're smarter than me. You win. You know what you win? You win unhappiness. You win anger. You win resentment. You win bitterness. You win. You win all that. You win some disease, some modern disease that's going to probably take you out while I'm living happily to 120 years old in my Airstream on the beach, right? So you win. I don't have a filter. Now ask me if I want a filter, because my whole renegade yogi thing, you know, I bless you, I forgive you, I respect your free will choices, and I love you. I don't love your non-loving behavior, but I still love you, right? Love you. That makes my life easy. You want to yell at me, you want to tell me, call me names, you want to tell me I don't have a filter? I still love you. I still respect your free will choice to tell me that I don't have a filter. But I also love myself, and I also bless myself, and I also respect my own free will choices, and I also forgive myself. I forgive myself for not having a filter before you tell me I don't have a filter. I respect that. I forgive that. I forgive myself for not having a filter. You know why? Because I don't want a filter. Because what filters do is filters assign good and bad. So filters set you up for resistance, pain, suffering, and all that. All right? So if you want to have that, you're on the wrong channel. Or you're wanting to be triggered. And you're listening to me and looking for how you can get triggered. And I bless that behavior. I forgive that behavior. You want to be angry at me? I bless it all the way to the end of time. I bless you. I bless you and your anger. I bless and forgive and respect your free will choices to make yourself angry. It's not going to stick to me. So something recently relative, you know, in the news with what's her name, Nancy Pelosi, calling the MS-13 gang members, you know, that they have sparks of divinity. Now, yes, that's true. Each MS-13 gang member has a spark of divinity in them, okay? Now, all of them, and then this was in response to, Trump was asked a question about MS-13, he called them animals, and then she responded with that was bad. That it was bad that he said they were animals because each human being is a divine spark. Yes. But, and I don't expect this out of Nancy Pelosi. You know, I don't expect her to be a renegade yogi. She's busier doing her work, whatever she has to do, and living her life, which is completely different from mine. So my dishes need to be done and my house needs to be cleaned and I need to get to the welding shop, but I'm making this video instead. And so my life's just different. So I bless, you know, forgive, respect the free will choices, and love both MS-13 gang members and Nancy Pelosi. But just because Nancy Pelosi and I are saying the same thing about the divine spark in each human being doesn't mean Nancy Pelosi and I are the same, and it doesn't mean that Nancy Pelosi and I are coming from the same intention when we talk about human beings in their divine sparks. So I, bless, forgive, respect, and love both Nancy Pelosi and MS-13, and of course Trump, but that's not the point here. But Nancy and MS-13, I those 4 principles that I live by, I do all those 4. I respect, I forgive, bless, and love Nancy Pelosi and the MS-13 gang members. I don't, however, love the non-loving behavior of MS-13. What is it? I forget. Their 3 principles are like rape, control, kill. I think is what it is. Rape, control, kill. I don't know, my dad watches the news, so he watches CNN and MSNBC and stuff. And then I know I know what's on there because of my dad. Sometimes I peek here and there or whatever, but rape, control, kill. So I don't love the non-loving behavior of MS-13. I do, however, love them, and when I do my healing meditations, I don't leave them out. I sweep and clear and heal them. I raise their vibration. I heal and raise the vibration of every being on the planet every Sunday night. Okay? Every Sunday. And then during the day, whenever I think of it too, obviously, but with people as a setup thing, or people can gain momentum in this, I still pray, and Nancy Pelosi too. I don't love Nancy Pelosi's behavior when she's using what I say, and I'm coming from a different place, and I still love her, but I don't love her behavior, right? I just don't love her behavior. She's using the whole divine spark thing. Just because she and I are saying the same thing doesn't mean we're anything alike. It doesn't mean, because we have separate intentions, right? She's using the divine spark of each human in a way that I don't appreciate the way she's using the words. And just because we're using the same words doesn't mean we're coming from the same heart place. It doesn't mean that I agree with anything she says. But I still love her, and I still forgive, and I still bless, and I still respect her free will choices to use the divine spark thing the way she's using it. Okay? But I'm not her, and I don't love her behavior. I don't love her behavior, and even how she uses that. I don't love why she's using it, the way she's using it. I don't love that, okay? But when I do my healings, she's still in there. She is still in there. MS-13 and all the people who are hurting all the other people are still in my hands. I still heal them all. I still love them all. Okay? I still work at raising the vibration of all. I bring light and love to the world in the most powerful way that I can. As I stay in the big white spotlight of the highest and holiest source creator energy, I still work towards healing everyone. Okay? I don't separate and only heal victims. Okay? Everybody's included. Raise the vibration of all. And I hope this makes sense. And if your heart is telling you that you don't have the best house or the best kids or the best country, then your heart, your spirit is just telling you through your heart that you should make it. There's a change to be made. Marriage, if you don't feel like you have the best marriage for you, then there's a change to be made. That doesn't mean you have to get divorced. It doesn't. It means there's a change to be made. If you want to raise your vibration, if you want to be more joyful, you could, or maybe not stay with the same person, but you can there's changes that you can make in order to raise your vibration when it comes to whatever it is that you don't think is the best about your life. Because I want everyone I want every single divine spark to feel like I have the best life. I'm completely in love with my life. Now, that being said, people with bad behavior, like let's just take MS-13, right? That rape, control, kill. You may think like, well, if they think they have the best life, then they're, then they're going to rape and control and kill more people. No, when you raise people's vibration, when you heal out that stuff, there's stuff inside them. There's still lenses. There's still good and bad beliefs. There's still beliefs that are not serving them or the planet. Rape, control, kill. Those beliefs, that belief is not the highest best for them or anyone else. So by healing them, by raising their vibration and healing them and loving them anyway, that is the only way for them to be able to move out of that space. But anyway, I want you to love your life. I love you. Bye.